With our invoice posting in the part 2, what I have done is that I was not able to solve the jurisdiction problem, so I've spent about 3 hours trying to solve the tax jurisdiction problem. I was not able to. The system keep saying the tax code is not maintained for the tax jurisdiction, so rather than wasting our time troubleshooting that, what I've done is that I've assigned a different tax calculation procedure for US, which is without the tax jurisdiction. If you notice earlier the setting was this: tax USJ, which means that a tax jurisdiction is required for each and every tax code that we define for US country. So I've changed this to tax USA. It's a different tax calculation procedure which will not use a tax jurisdiction. Okay, so if I use this instead of this, I don't have to enter a jurisdiction. So I saved this, and then I went to calculation procedure, define tax codes. I choose US. Say the tax jurisdiction is not being asked anymore, so I'll define a new tax code, V2. Right, 10% input tax. Tax type is input tax, and click OK. So I just have to enter the tax percentage here, which is 10% under VST, and I'm going to save this. Then I need to specify a tax account to post the tax amount to. So I come here, I choose VST, which is here, input tax. This VST corresponds to this. Okay, where is that? US. This one corresponds to this account key. So I come back and define a tax account, VST. I choose a chart of account of Sun, and I enter my input tax account 900100105, which is this. Let me solve this input tax, and I save it, and that's it. My tax is set up. So I'm going to post the mirror now. So far so good. I'm going to choose the invoice date. Amount is 330, including the V2 10% tax. I'm going to calculate the tax automatically. I'm going to specify the baseline date, and I'm going to pull out the purchase order. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to simulate now. Okay, all good. Let me open up the sample invoice. Sample invoice is not here. Let me check why. Sample invoice. Strange. Yeah, sample vendor invoice. Okay, so let me compare this. I have 330, which is this amount inclusive of tax. Tax of 10%, $30 is here, and the 6 unit is here, and the total amount of 6 unit is here. So far so good. The only thing I forgot is to enter the invoice reference number, which is INV001. Then I simulate again. Right, when the A is 330, okay, will be credited with 330, and the GRIR account will be reversed, and the input tax will be posted. Now let us post it now. Press this button here. Working. Let me pause it. Alright, our invoice has been posted. This is our invoice MM invoice number, which is this. Let me copy it here. Okay, let me take you to the purchase order. ME23N, and go to purchase order history. You can see one extra entry here, which is invoice receipt, which corresponds to our invoice number that is generated. See this? You can see here. So 6 unit has been invoiced. If I click here, it will directly take me to the invoice document. I can view here. You can see the purchase order here. Alright, all good. And let us check the accounting postings. Go back again, follow on documents. Accounting document. Alright, see, this is the entry that we saw during the simulation. When the A is created and GRIR account is reversed. Alright, and you can see the input tax here. Just to recap, why the GRIR account is debited, it's because of this. Because of this. Okay, remember I told you, when the vendor sends the invoice, when we post the invoice, the GRIR clearing account will be debited to reverse it out, and the actual vendor account will be credited, which is happening here, 300. The amount is not 300, is 330, because it's inclusive of tax, input tax. Okay, this is the reason. And let me check if there's anything else I need to show you. Okay, there will be no change in the inventory because the inventory has already been updated. If we go to MM03, it will still be 6 units because the inventory has been updated when we do the MIGO, which is good receipt. So there's no change. Plant stock, NY plant, it will still remain at 6. Okay, there's no change. And there's no change in the price and whatsoever. Okay, although the price control is S, there's one thing I need to let you know. The moving average price will be automatically calculated even though the price control is S. This is only for information purposes. So as long as the price control is S, only this standard price will be used to evaluate the total value of this material. But the moving average price will be updated as well, just to show you what is the moving average price for statistical purposes. Okay. Now, um, okay, there's one more thing before we come here handling variances and discount. GR variances. What is this? Is actually when we post the invoice, not necessarily the vendor send the invoice for all the 6 units that he has delivered. They might send an invoice for only 3 units for some reason, or the other variance that may occur is that the price of the each material, they might use a different price during invoicing, so we need to capture that as well and see how the system will treat the differences and where it will post. Okay, let me end the topic here before we go to handling invoice and GR variances. In this example, I made sure things are very simple, that there are no variances. The unit is 6 and the price is the same as the GR price, so there are no variances. But in the next topic, I'll try to make some variances so that we'll know how the variances will be taken care of. Alright, let me end the topic.